Hey everybody, Chris here. In today's crypto news, we've got green in the crypto market. We've got Celsius saying that your money isn't yours. We've got Bitcoin going to zero or busking for Bitcoin, trying to make Bitcoin. We've got Tony Hawk playing in the Sandbox. And we've got crypto confessions, both good and bad. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the little notification bell. You can get notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. We had a good time last night talking about green in the market, so we're going to cover that and these other stories in today's video. Let's get into the news. So we'll start by looking at the current chart. Here's Bitcoin trading over 22,000. We were watching this last night on my live stream, and this is showing that sideways trading that I was hoping that we would see, and we do indeed have. Ethereum continues to trade upwards, not just sideways, but showing good gains, and Dogecoin as well, now showing some good green candles, moving up at 674. I'm really excited about a couple of my altcoins that I talk about. Here's VeChain. VeChain is moving up, showing good signs. Harmony One also showing good signs, moving up as well. And look at Zilliqa really taking off. So we're seeing some good trading across the crypto markets. So what's going on in the news? Well, crypto market lights up green a week ahead of next Fed meeting. After being in the red for the best part of 2 weeks, the cryptocurrency market has started showing bullish indications. However, observers are still unsure if it is appropriate to recognize a turnaround just yet. But if you look across YouTube and you look at some of these other YouTubers and their videos, it's like, we are in a bull market. And I'm like, not quite yet. Let's wait for confirmation. And certainly with the heavy news of next week, and what's going to happen, we'll talk about that a little bit. Yeah, not so sure. I wouldn't call this a bull market yet. We got a ways to go. What is going on with the overall bear market though? Well, Grayscale says the bear market could last another 8 months. They're talking about these crypto market cycles, of which I talked about last night on my live stream. We'll talk about again on Friday. How the past couple entire sequences of trading, primarily of Bitcoin, on 4-year cycles means that we've got a 250-day bear market that began on June 13th. So we look at their chart here, which links from that article, and what they're looking at is when the Bitcoin halving happens, which is every 4 years, and how Bitcoin has traded between the halving and when Bitcoin has hit its peaks and when it's gone into bear market. And that's happened every 4 years. So what they're saying is that here's the first one, 2012 to 2015. Here's the next one, 2016 to 2019. And here's our current one, 2020 now to 2022. We are nearing the bottom. And then, according to what has happened twice before, trading sideways before eventually moving up. When do we reach an all-time high? 1,177 days from the maximum drawdown. Are we at the max drawdown yet? I don't know. We could see that Bitcoin go lower, and then we got to wait a couple years before we hit an all-time high again, according to this. What's going on with Celsius? Well, Celsius says that their legal team is arguing, now that they're in bankruptcy court, right? They're saying that you, the customers of Celsius, you signed over your crypto. So Celsius is not an asset manager. It's a shadow bank, and deposits in banks aren't even customer assets, let alone assets under management. Celsius's terms of use make it completely clear that customers who deposit funds in Celsius's interest-bearing accounts are lending their funds to Celsius to do with as it pleases. And it specifically says that in the event of bankruptcy, which they are now in, customers might not get all or indeed any of their money back. So, when you signed up for Celsius, if you did that, did you read the terms and conditions? Did you read the fine print? That's pretty tough. So what's going on? Well, Ben Armstrong, BitBoy Crypto, he is leading a class action lawsuit against Celsius, which is, I think that's great. There's probably needs to be more of this. I don't know whether Ben was in Celsius or not, and he's potentially going to lose a lot of money because he had invested a lot in Celsius. That could be. I don't think he's doing this just for the good of the crypto community, but that could be as well. I don't really watch BitBoy Crypto, but it looks like with these kinds of lawsuits that there's a chance to at least get some money back. What is Celsius doing? Well, they're restructuring, right? They're in Chapter 11. And how are they going to try and get money back? They're going to build a Bitcoin mining facility? This is how they're going to earn money back, is through mining? Okay, because, well, we know that they're not going to be doing these crazy lending things again because they're going to be watched like a hawk, but I don't know. Bitcoin mining, they're already doing some mining, but they're going to be investing some. I think this article here on Forecast says that they are going to be investing billions of dollars into mining facilities. Where's that money coming from to build these mining facilities? At bankruptcy hearing, Pat Nash, Celsius lead attorney, said the firm's mining division currently emits 14 Bitcoins a day. Experts and expects to increase operations to mine over 10,000 Bitcoins later this year. Over 10,000 Bitcoins. So they're just gonna mine Bitcoin, and that's how they're gonna pay everybody back. That's how they're gonna pull out of this, is just through Bitcoin mining. Even if Celsius mints 10,000 Bitcoins at a price of, let's say, $21,900 per Bitcoin, the minted Bitcoins will be valued at about $221 million, far below Celsius's deficit of over $1 billion. So they've got a long way to go. So what else is going on? We've got Tony Hawk. He is partnering with Sandbox to build a virtual skate park. The Sandbox virtual world, if you don't know what that is about, you can check that out. Partnering with Autograph. Now, Autograph, Tom Brady is involved in Autograph. And so they're going to be creating Tony Hawk avatar NFTs based on Tony Hawk, his most iconic skateboards, equipment, apparel, including the legendary skateboard that Tony Hawk used to land the 900 at the X Games in 1991. Players can create digital assets in the form of NFTs, upload them to the marketplace, integrate into games. In the end, I think all of this is just turning to you, Tony Hawk fans, to give them your money in hopes that you're going to make some back by trading. But for the most part, I think you're just giving them your money. Hopes to make something back of it, hopes to make some profit. But for the most part, I think the fans end up losing, is how I see these kinds of things. So be very careful. Be very careful. Here we've got a billionaire brokerage pioneer warning that chances are high that Bitcoin will become worthless. Who is this guy and what is this about? This is Thomas Peterffy, a billionaire who's the founder and chairman of the online trading platform Interactive Brokers. I believe inflationary pressures will continue for years, not months. This is not a short-term issue, he said. So that's talking about the current market conditions. But he also says, I think chances are very high that Bitcoin will become worthless or outlawed at some point. He believes the federal government in the United States may try to outlaw cryptocurrencies because they provide financing for illegal activities. as if the US dollar isn't used for illegal activities already. But I mean, that's the argument Congress is making, right? As well as the US Treasury Department's inability to control or keep track of payments and collect taxes. So that's really what it's all about. So we've been talking about regulations of crypto in the United States and what's going to happen, what's the government going to do. That's still going to be a tough one. Government's still talking about maybe doing its own digital dollar, and that would be different than cryptocurrency. It would be a private blockchain controlled by the government. They want you to use the digital dollar. They can track everything, and I don't think that's the way we want to go as crypto enthusiasts, but that's what this is talking about. Next, in the news, we've got busking on Bitcoin. So this is in Canada, the band The Carbons. They were performing on the street, and this guy passes by. His name's Ben. He's with BTC Sessions. He's a YouTuber and a Bitcoin educator, and he saw that the band accepted Bitcoin. So here's the guitar case that Tommy has. He's the front man for the Carbons, and he's got "The Future Is Here" support with Bitcoin, and he's got his little QR code there. And Ben wanted to give him a tip, but I guess the guy's phone was it lost its charge, and he wasn't able to do the tip right then. But eventually they worked it out through Instagram, and he was able to give the tip. The guy really wanted Ethereum, though. Even though he said Bitcoin here, he said, well, Bitcoin is too slow and cumbersome to give as a tip. How about some Ethereum? Well, Ethereum is expensive, and Ben was essentially saying, look, on the Lightning Network, we can actually do a transaction for a lot cheaper than would be if I just tipped you directly with Bitcoin. So I hadn't heard about the Lightning Network, Tommy says, until last week. It makes me want to trade all my Litecoin and Ether for Bitcoin. So this is a pro-Bitcoin article. It's all about the Lightning Network and Bitcoin and how great it all is and how you can tip with Bitcoin. Well, I think Dogecoin would be better personally for tipping, but if he wants to do Bitcoin this way, I guess he can. And finally, my last news article is this one: Coinfessions portrays the dark side of the bear market. This is a Twitter account, and what they're doing is they're getting people to give anonymous crypto confessions, little stories that could present a scary picture of what people are doing. And here's one of them. I still haven't told my wife we lost 50% of our savings in Anchor. I'm putting what's left over from my paychecks into restoring it back to the initial amount, hoping she won't notice. It will take me approximately 5 years with my current salary. We plan to buy a house next year. I kind of think that his wife is probably going to find out before then. Here's another one. Throughout the past bull run, I convinced myself I was a better trader while on uppers. Now, $250,000 in unrealized gains have vanished, which means he didn't take profits. And I've spiraled into depression and a substance problem no one knows about. Yikes. It has been the most devastating 7 months of my life. I've never seen something as difficult as trying to be a trader. I came with the intention of making money, and I was clickbaited by most accounts claiming absurd gains. I'm ashamed of my losses, of myself. I sold my car. I lost 6 years of salary, took out stupid loans, and worst of all, lost a big part of myself emotionally. I'm now really antisocial, unwilling to do anything, but I will not accept defeat as an option. I will go on with my head held high, because one day, even if very slowly, I will recover what I've lost. Well, I'm glad that he has a positive outlook in the long term, but you can see the depths that people can fall into with these dreams of this easy money through cryptocurrency, and it really isn't. A lot of this is based on Luna, and they talk about Luna here, and here's the chart of the collapse of Luna, which led to the bankruptcy of Three Arrows Capital, and then Celsius we talked about earlier, and Voyager, and there's this whole domino effect that's all tied back to Luna. However, on this Confessions Twitter account, there are some positive confessions as well. I made it in crypto. I'm from quite a modest background. I haven't told my mom I was rich. I'm really scared that money could change our relationship and she will see me as a walking ATM more than a son. I discreetly make sure she doesn't need anything. Bought her a new car when hers broke down, but nothing fancy. Some new appliances for her flat, but always in a range that a regular middle-class son could afford. I see people in the ecosystem that gives unlimited credit cards to their parents, and I don't know if I'm cheap or a bad son, or if what I do is right. I like his approach, though. It's just like, don't flaunt it. Just enjoy your gains, but on a modest level. I think that's pretty good. Here's another one. I work for 3 different DAOs, making between $150,000 to $200,000 at each. Good for him. I've been trading markets full-time since 2017. It hasn't been easy, but ever since I stopped caring about anyone or any project, finally started making money. So there are some positive ones here. This one's interesting. I'm the founder of a large blockchain project, but I secretly hate our Discord community. They are the most toxic, ungrateful, disgusting, and idiotic group of people I've ever seen. They all have terrible ideas. We would have tanked our project many times over if we had implemented even just one of them. Very interesting. So you can go on Twitter and you can check them out. They're at Coinfessions, at Coinfessions. So very interesting Twitter feed of these confessions. So pretty interesting to look at. So all this is leading up to next week's FOMC meetings and whether the Fed in the United States is going to be raising interest rates 75 basis points, 100 basis points, what's already priced into the market. A lot of people are just expecting the markets to go down next week. And typically, when you expect something to happen, it usually doesn't happen how you expect it to. That's what I've seen in the past. So we'll see. We'll be exploring more of that on Friday night on the next Chris Live. So be sure to tune in. That's Chris Live, Friday night, 7 o'clock Boston time, East Coast United States, where I am. That's when we'll be going live. As for the news of the day, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about Bitcoin and Celsius, anything else that's on your mind. Give the video a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.